Welcome to the Oracle at Delphi. Please ask your question. Hello there, neighborhood mystics, and welcome to your Pick a Card Soulmate reading. And our question for today is, am I ready for relationship? So that's the question. Excuse me. So, this is another one where I've got my pack of dogs playing cards up top. So we'll do that first so we can get a quick yes or no. So for you people with the short attention span, you can get your yes or no answer and you can leave. And then for those of you who want to stay, we're going to end up picking a card and we're going to get an advice card. And I'll explain how this part's going to work after the playing cards, because I know the people that want their quick answer want it now. So let's go ahead and get the answer to, am I ready for relationship? Wow, so we have the ace of spades here. So, this is the new you. This is starting a whole new cycle for you. We've got the 4 of clubs here, and so we have some good stability. And then we have, this is funny because I did a reading earlier and two of these cards came up. And we have the Jack of Diamonds. So are you ready for relationship? I think it's looking like it starts out kind of but it gets better by the time you get to the Jack of Diamonds here. So I would say, yes, you are ready for relationship. Perhaps not, because we've got 2 blacks and a red, so it's kind of leaning more toward a no. But it is ending on a hopeful note with the Jack of Diamonds here. So I would say overall, yes, maybe not right in this second, but you are ready for relationship. So those of you who have to go ahead and go. And this is the pick a card reading part, and it's a little bit different than I normally do. What we're going to do, or what you're going to do, is you're going to take your age and you're going to divide it by 4. And when you divide it by 4, then you can get your multiplier to get each of the 4 cards here. So, for example, and you're going to have to do a little math here, sorry, but you are. If you're 44 years old and you divide that by 4, you get 11. So that means these cards are 11, 22, 33, 44. So we're going to look at kind of like a little timeline of your relationship history and end up where you are now, and then get an advice card. So I'll give you a second here. Everybody take your age and divide it by 4. If you're like 20 years old, then it's gonna be a little odd, but you'll still get a message of, if you're 20 and you divide it by 4, then each of these is 5. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20. And if you're older, you're going to have bigger blocks of time for each of these cards. So hopefully you did that. And if you say, oh, screw it, then just pick one of these cards. One of these 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay, so let's get moving here. All right, so starting at the beginning, the first sector of your life, or if you pick this card, you have the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords likes to try lots of different things, kind of get out there, play the field, and that kind of makes sense, because that's how kind of most people start out. Not everybody, but most people kind of start out their exploration of relationship by playing the field and trial and error and finding out what you like and what you don't like and seeing lots of different people, etc., etc. In the next sector of your relationship timeline, we have the Judgment card. So this is where you find out more things about yourself, and you let those things about yourself out, because perhaps maybe at the beginning, and many of a romantic comedy has been created on this whole theme of, like, I can't let somebody know this part of myself, so I go through all these pains and gyrations and twist myself into a pretzel to keep that hidden, so that, because if they knew that about me, they wouldn't want me. So that the Judgment card is about kind of like that, those realizations about yourself, or they could even be realizations about yourself, like when you get in a relationship with people, then you realize, hey, you know what? I really am like kind of a neat freak and kind of a pain in the ass when it comes to that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm saying. That's what this judgment card is like realizing things about yourself. In the third sector of your timeline, this is where we meet the Empress. And so we meet this creative energy that can work with other people to create more things, because the Empress is the mother. So this actually could correspond to a time where you did have children, or it could correspond to, like I said, in moving forward in the timeline. It's like, ideally, after you realize things about yourself, then you're able to be in relationship with other people and create things like relationships or businesses or whatever. And then this is where you are now. Excuse me. And this is where we'll find out if you're ready for a relationship. And we have the Ace of Swords. So this is telling me that you're now ready to look at things in a new perspective. So, no matter what has gone on in this timeline beforehand, it's like you're now able to look at things in a new perspective. And so you can answer that question of whether you're ready or not, because you're looking at it from a different way than you have in the past. So the advice for you is the Ace of Cups. And so, the Ace of Cups is saying we can always open our hearts. We can always choose to appreciate other people and bond emotionally with people or connect on an emotional level. And I know that it really does sound very, very trite. But this reading kind of worked out in an interesting way, because like I said, it kind of worked out into this kind of like little ideal thing of like how you could work through relationships through your life, and then gives you the message that it's like, if you so choose, you can always have a relationship. So I hope that was helpful to you. And remember, coincidence is the God's way of staying anonymous.